Do you have this game?
Especially the more that I hear about people doing multiplayer, it's like. Hello and welcome everyone to the 8-Bit Show. Woo!
Hold on, I'm not ready.
Oh, fucking, we'll be right back.
We have
No, we're ready. We're doing this. We'll do it live. Yeah. We're back. Had a quote unquote exactly a holiday break last week. That's what we're calling it.
for
That's
Labor Day.
exactly what happened. It was all on purpose and intentional.
Mm-hmm.
There's no other reasons.
Yeah, and you can't prove otherwise.
Exactly.
And that was pretty convenient because I also completely forgot about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Welcome in.
Indeed.
Welcome back.
Right. We can talk about news, video games,
Bits.
8 of them. All 8 of the bits.
At least 8.
Yeah, at least 8. Could be more, could be less, as we always say here.
It's never less.
It's right.
Always
it's never less.
8.
But yeah, we have to talk about just nerd culture in general. Books, movies. Not really comics, you know. It's been a while actually. It's been a few years since I've actually like sat down and read a comic. Yeah.
I listen to a lot of audiobooks, so those aren't really conducive to like graphic novels or anything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we got some things going on. You guys had a good few weeks.
Yeah.
I had them. Yeah, I had a few weeks. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Me too. Actually, work's been work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is what it is. What can you do? But we'll see. We'll see what the future brings. Who wants to go first with their week?
I'll go first, like always.
And Skippy.
I did things. Yeah, we played Baldur's Gate.
Right.
Mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty hard.
It was a lot of that. Well, I mean, it was like, I guess we did invest most of our free time.
There was like work. I hang out for like an hour and a half to get home, and then we played Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, we done Baldur's Gate. Played that till bedtime.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, last night. What did we play? Oh yeah, we jumped into the Court Keeper. I was like, maybe we should invite these guys, and I was like, no, they're in a Baldur's Gate session. Like usual.
Yeah.
We were balls deep in it.
We did play
balls deep in those gates.
We went pretty hard last night on it.
We were like right there at the end, so we
played like 6 hours last night.
Yeah,
5 or 6 hours. Yeah, it was home stretch, so sprinted out, finished the campaign.
That home stretch playing, you know how it goes.
Oh yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It was good times being able to finish off a campaign of Baldur's Gate finally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that game is so well done for like multiple people to play. It would be a good idea to get at least a couple people from the stream team who want to play.
Yeah, like I was telling you guys, I keep hearing things about getting people to get together and do a multiplayer play.
Like
it's like
insanely enjoyable. Whether you want to be like an origin character and just play as one of them, or create your own character, like it works either way. There's so many options within it of like different ways to play.
Yeah.
And now, after this patch, there's a whole modding scene, and there's a whole bunch of new evil endings. And apparently, even some of the fights are different. The guy we were with played all. The guy that we were playing with plays all the time. He'd actually probably be down to stream it with us too, honestly.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, he's like always down to play. It's the guy who's got 1,000 hours in the game now.
Yeah.
After we finished that,
he started like a brand new game right after we got done.
Yeah, I saw him on Steam in character creation. Yeah.
So I know that he'd be down, but it was a lot of fun. We just he knows like so much about the game that just kind of like walk through it really. picked up all the important pieces. But he was saying that some of the fights have like some of the boss fights now have like legendary actions, so they have a bunch of like things that he hasn't seen.
Mm.
And during one of the fights, he was like, "This is new." One of the end fights.
That's good. That's good. Plenty of new content for people to enjoy.
Yeah. And now with the modding.
It
says they're not quite done
be...
with it too. Like this is like the final major update, but they're gonna release little bits and stuff.
Oh really?
Yeah. That's a little unfortunate that it's not getting any like DLC, but
yeah. Well, I mean, from what I didn't read the article. I think I read a little bit of it, but I didn't read the whole thing. That they're excited to really, do something new. Even though this is like they're like a big dream of theirs, at least some of the people. Great. But yeah,
if you've ever played any of their games, you know that if you're not into Baldur's Gate and Dungeons and Dragons, they got the also on sale because I think their whole like library is on sale right now. But you could get the Divinity series for rather cheap currently. So
yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, no, they're a good company. Well, and too, I think the main reason I was reading that article is because basically their plans for the future sound more level-headed than a lot of other game studios when they meet resounding success.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So that's going to be good because hopefully that'll mean less layoffs, at least from them.
Yeah. So yeah, lots of Baldur's Gate this week. I picked the funny part is I picked up like some new stuff. I just got the like season pass for Rogue Trader, the Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader, CRPG. So I got like the new DLC for that, which I'm now checking out. But I got that like a couple weeks ago. And then just the other day, I bought Star Trucker. Yeah, the space trucker simulator game, which seems right up my alley. I've just been too busy with
Baldur's Gate. Fair enough. Oh, cool.
We watched Long Legs, new movie, Long Legs.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, a like serial killer thriller.
This is a slow burn.
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
Yeah, it is definitely it's like a serial killer thriller, like kind of very reminiscent of like Silence of the Lambs type thing for a lot of it, but it has some like Rosemary's Baby satanic stuff going on too. And Nick Cage is absolutely crazy in it. To one point, like he is doing like a whole like monologue and being like really evil, but he's going off on a whole little thing, and it's just making me laugh because it is so like really Nick Cage. It is just the most Nick Cage I've seen him in a long time. So he's being all evil and like sinister and shit, and I'm just laughing my ass off. But I thought it was a really good movie. It is a slow burn of a movie, but It's worth it.
Yeah.
We finished Wellington Paranormal. And I think you would enjoy it, Frankie.
Yeah.
I think you would like that show. The cops are funny as hell. I mean, it doesn't have like a very like conclusive ending or anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's also not very long. It's 4 seasons, but like a total of like 24 episodes.
Oh, okay.
Like each season is like 6 episodes long.
Mm-hmm.
So not a long show to invest your time in, and pretty quite enjoyable.
Okay.
Let's see. I read Keanu Reeves' new book.
Oh. I didn't even know he had a new book.
He wrote a book with China Miéville, who wrote a bunch of crazy like science fiction stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait, maybe you were telling me about this.
The book is the Book of Elsewhere.
Mm.
It's about this guy. It's kind of set. First and foremost, it's kind of set in the Berserker like world, the anime. So there's some like correlating things, although not really characters or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this guy who's like immortal. He's been around since like the like caveman times. And he exists as like a fighter, like a berserker fighter. He'll go into like these rage induced states. Usually it's for like a purpose. Either he's like working with the town and going against the opposing team, but innocent people get hurt in that mix of violence as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It reads very much like a mythology book. It's pretty cool. You follow this guy, Unate is his name. He also goes by B, like the letter B.
Mm-hmm.
And it flashes between like his life in the past and like perspectives from people who have met him over time, to like current time when he's working with like it's basically like this black ops group, but like solely focused around him. And making sure like he's pointed in the right direction, really.
Mm-hmm.
And he's trying to figure out like who he is. He doesn't want to be this like immortal being really anymore. It's not like he wants to die, but to have the ability to do so would be something.
Yeah.
It was really cool. It was a really cool book. Not too long, but I quite enjoyed it.
Sounds interesting. You know, sorry, it made me think of Queen. That song, Who Wants to Live Forever?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of that song Under Pressure, but it's unrelated to what we're talking about. I just like that song.
Yeah, other than that, not really much. Work a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to buy my cat these like treats, those like treats that you see people use where it's like a little squeeze tube and they can like lick it from the end.
No, I haven't seen those.
Like Go-Gurt for cats.
Yeah,
it's like Go-Go for cats, kind of. And I got them because like I was trying to get something that would like make me present my hand as something more than a play toy.
Yeah.
So you maybe stop biting it so much.
Mm-hmm.
But he hates it. He doesn't like them.
Some
I even tried to
backfire.
put some I even tried to put some on like his food. I thought maybe it was the wrapper he didn't like. So I even just was like, okay, well maybe I could just give them to him as a treat. That's fine.
Yeah.
So I tried to put it into his food, and he just refused to eat his food from that point. These are treats, dude. Treats. He doesn't want anything to do with it.
You need a little bit of catnip on there.
Then he'll just rub it all over himself.
Yeah. Can't win.
Yeah. There's no love. But that's about it for me. Yeah.
Okay. Andrew, you want to go next or you want me?
I can go next.
Do it.
I did most of the stuff that Christian talks about. So I also did that stuff. Played the shit out of Baldur's Gate. Finished the whole campaign. We're the greatest now. Some people will remember us. And now I'm playing some more Baldur's Gate this morning. Just cause.
Just cause.
We finished Wellington. Watched Longlegs. Those were both enjoyable. I would have liked to have seen more of Wellington Paranormal myself.
Yeah, that could have kept going.
Yeah. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that throughout. There wasn't really. They had not reached the point in the show where it was like dipping in quality. If anything, it gets better over time. The first season's probably the roughest, and then after that, it starts getting really fun. What did I do independent of that? Oh, we watched that new Chaos show with Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We watched the first episode of that. It's like a modern retelling of Greek mythology. So Jeff Goldblum is playing Zeus. And this is in some world where gods actually, like the Greek gods are actually real. They actually exist and everything.
And people know about that.
Yeah,
seemingly.
People know about it. Like people worship them and stuff. They're like the gods are a lot more interacty with humans in this world. Really good, really fun. Just watched the first episode, but really really enjoyable. Jeff Goldblum as Zeus is probably the perfect casting. He's really knocking the part out of the park.
Oh yeah, when he gets all mad because of like some blasphemy.
Yeah.
That occurs.
He's just ready to kill all humans.
Yeah, he's like that, and then like you leave the scene for a little while, and you come back, and he is still just seething, walking around his house like you would like a normal person. Just like, oh. It's so good too. It's so good. Jeff Goldblum's always a delight, though. So
yeah.
Very fun show. I'm sure we'll watch more of it, but
it's doing a good job with the
first episode so far.
It's doing a pretty good job with like the accuracy of or like the portrayal of each of the people.
Oh yeah. This is just like a modernization. It's not like retelling really. It's just
no one's really
telling the same story but putting it in modern times.
Yeah, it seemed to be following the story of Orpheus and Eurydice, the muse and the musician.
Yeah, doing that seems to be one of the main story. Well, also like Zeus and that prophecy.
Yeah, more prophecies. Yeah,
following that stuff too.
Prometheus is our narrator. He's pretty great.
Prometheus is really fun as the narrator. He's a pretty fun character. I agree with that. I like Prometheus quite a bit as well. He's like Zeus's best friend.
Who he has tied up to a rock and his liver eaten out by birds every day. It didn't take away from some of the brutality of what the gods have done, which is cool.
No, that's like, I mean, that's kind of like one of the themes of the show is that the gods are all super shitty because of all the shitty things they do.
Mm-hmm. Listen, they got hard lives.
The gods?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess. It's tough being a god.
Yeah. Glad you understand. At least that's what some of them would definitely have you believe. I feel like that's how Zeus is. Primarily, he just feels like he has a really hard life all the time. Damn children won't listen to me.
It do be like that for Zeus. Yeah. Yeah, they got Dionysus in it as his like kid representative.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's got plenty, but we got introduced to Dionysus. And Hera does not like Dionysus very much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Looking forward to watching more chaos.
Yeah, it's better than like I'd seen the trailer a while back, and I was like, that looks like it could be fun, but it ended up being better than I thought. It would be. It's always questionable with those Netflix shows, and then the question here is whether it survives to have more than one season.
Yep. Good luck with that one.
Or it gets canceled because
I don't know if it'll even
whatever
be more than one season, though. You know, like it might just
That's
be one
true.
of those like one and done kind of things.
That's true. I mean, but it definitely could, and it'd fit it well. But we'll see.
I mean,
Netflix can do good, and then they fail on like endings.
Yeah, like I feel like that's something that Netflix really needs to actually focus on. Just have some good one-shot season shows. Like you don't need it to last, 6 years, 10 years, whatever it may be.
Yeah. I mean, they really like shotgun blasted a lot of stuff there for a while, and
Oh yeah,
I think a lot of it scared them how much money they had lost for those things not being like as influential or groundbreaking as they thought it would be.
yeah.
It didn't bring over new customers. Yeah. But also there was like little marketing on them. Half those shows came out and like the only thing that would spread its like knowledge is word of mouth.
Right. Yeah, it's like Concord all over again. I guess. Oh yeah. To be fair,
we'll talk about that because I mean the game had just come out last time we talked about it.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago.
We'll get to that.
About that game now.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that all for TV and movies and whatnot?
That's about it. That's about it for me. It was like very Baldur's Gate 3 heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Played all the way through a campaign. Pretty proud of that though. I think that was pretty cool of us.
Yeah.
Make it all the way through a campaign.
Indeed.
But yeah, that was it for me.
Okay. Well, for me, let's see. First and foremost, Core Keeper. I want to talk about that because
we did play some Core Keeper.
Yeah.
I didn't play too much myself though.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like there's not like a shit ton more, but I'm appreciating the additions that they've thrown in there, and the changes and whatnot. I mean, I think we'll have to wait to play some more because, obviously we haven't really unlocked that much of it. But we'll get there. We'll get there and see what else there might be. And even before it, I mean, what were we like? Maybe like halfway through all the main enemies, right? If that.
Yeah,
On,
I mean,
on the
well,
old save?
yeah, we had unlocked the core,
Yeah.
and we're on the last, like, the Titans, the in-game bosses. So, I mean, we had technically reached the end game at the time.
Well, I
minus, like, another, like, one more tier of medals
think
we needed. Which we were already working towards. We just didn't have a lot of it.
I thought we had plenty of it. Not like a shit ton, but we had a good amount. Maybe not. I can't remember. It feels like forever ago now. But yeah. Either way, I'm liking the changes that they have. The new classes are cool. I've been reading more about it. Apparently, some people don't like some of the balancing with them. But we'll see. Again, not that far in, so maybe that'll change by the time we get there. But yeah, it's a good game. It's really fun to play
Our
with
new
people.
new starting area is all like closed in and claustrophobic.
Yeah, I feel like from what I can see from the map, I think everything is going to be kind of more like that. It feels like the map generation is going to be more tightly packed all around, which might be good because I feel like that was definitely a problem for a second with us getting that one guy. We searched for
we had like a
day.
pretty nice, like just the spawn generation we had on that one was pretty nice. We had that river that ran like right through where we were,
right?
And those we had everything like right off the bat, and like our opening area was already pretty like open.
Yeah,
a lot of like walls and dirt and stuff in the way.
I hear that they're actually going to be that everything is now, I should say, tied to the seed. So, and like bosses aren't going to be like in exactly the same spot, but they're going to be like pretty much right there. So if you find like a good level, then yeah, you just need the seed for it. So I'm sure like there will be those seed map generator things that'll be coming out sooner than later. Find the perfect one. And to help with all your speedrunning needs.
Yep.
But yeah, let's see. Beyond that, I had the urge to. I've actually been wanting to go and play Dead Space. Go back to the original for a while.
I have the first first one.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think I have the first two.
Well, you probably have all of them.
I don't have
on Game Pass.
The new one.
Yeah, they're all on Game Pass right now. So,
well, I wasn't talking about Game Pass. That's not really mine.
I mean, it's kind of.
I mean, I can play them. Yes,
you're paying for it. But I get what you mean. Yeah, that was my problem, is that I only had I think the first two. I think I had the third one also. It might have been on the EA store.
Look, me having the first two was a whole 100% on purpose because I don't like the third one.
Yeah, like I think I had it on PC because that's when I originally bought it, and I don't even remember how far I got in that game. But there was at a certain point I was like, I'm just done with this garbage. Sorry, it's a hot mess. I'm not coming back. So,
although the new one, like the remake one, did look all right. Although I still haven't played it. It was one of those games that I threw a fit about because I was like, "Why? This game doesn't need a remake."
Yeah, they didn't really do that much to it, honestly. Like they upscaled the graphics, and not even all of them. So there's times like the character models aren't, specifically Isaac's character model isn't that great. They didn't seem to do that much to any of his character models, like I said. But pretty much everything else looks to have gotten a decent up-res, and it looks pretty damn good. It's interesting though, because there's definitely some optimization issues with the game. When I run it at 4K, it doesn't tax my CPU and GPU as much as 1080p. Yeah,
That's odd.
Very weird. So
That's
like,
not usually how that works.
no, not at all. So when I was first playing it on stream, like my CPU kept like overheating, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And so like the next day I took a look, and like I adjusted all the settings and everything, and like it's crazy because it puts a heavier load onto my CPU than like a synthetic benchmark, which I've never seen a game put more load on to a CPU and specifically than what most synthetic benchmarks do. I was like, okay, that's fucking weird, whatever. And then like once I got done like fine tuning it to make sure that okay, it's gonna be fine next time I stream it, I was like, all right, I'm gonna kick it up to 4K so that way if I want to play some of it off stream, then I can see what I do. And the temperatures were like 5 to 10 degrees cooler. And I was like, what the fuck?
Weird.
Right?
Is your
So
PC having to like downscale?
That's the only thing I can think of is that there's
like the game's still running in that.
Yeah, I can only think of that.
And then on top of that, your PC's having to downscale it.
Yeah, it must be doing something where it's taking whatever's in there and downscaling it. And I don't know why, because there's nothing in the settings that I have where it's doing that. It just must be doing it by default. It must be running at 4K natively.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the game's code. So yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see if anybody else would have that issue, but and also on top of that, a lot of the graphics settings, as you adjust them, they really don't change that much. Like playing the game on low quality looks almost just as good as playing it on high. And I feel like that's becoming more and more of a thing lately. Newer games, it's just like low quality is just so good on game settings nowadays. It's crazy. We're getting to that point. But that being said, to get to the game's content, it's just as fun as I remember. I definitely remember some of the jump scares being a little bit different. There's a little bit difference in the level designs and where you get things. There's all these little details that I as I'm going through it, I'm like, I don't recall it happening quite that way. So that's cool. I appreciate what they've done there. Especially when it comes to something that's like, horror based. I think you kind of want to change it up a bit. That way, people who have played it before and want to revisit it don't just know where all the jump scares are at right off the bat. So it's fun. It's good. I do suggest if you liked the first one, playing the remake, it's definitely something to try out. And if you never played that first one, then go check it out if you're into horror, because it's the sound quality, like, I don't know, there's something about the sound of that game that they just nailed. So it was just done so well.
I mean, they nailed it in the first one.
Yeah.
Honestly, when it comes to remakes, I'm pretty excited for the new Dead Rising remake. That's looking pretty good.
Yeah. I need to check that out. But yeah, so that's I think that's really it for the video games. All I've really been playing are those. What else? Trying to think. Nothing for books. Movies, I haven't really checked anything else out. Yeah, and TV shows. We can continue with Buffy. So Angela and I, we have revisited, because we've been going through the MCU in order, but of course we've taken a lot of breaks and whatnot. So where we're at right now is Captain America and Winter Soldier, or Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really weird with the show, because I remember there's definitely being like, I felt at the end of it, I was like, it wasn't like disappointment, but it wasn't as fulfilling as it should have been. And I'm definitely thinking that I'm going to end up feeling the same way, because there's some parts in the show that are super enjoyable. But yeah, knowing where it's going to end up, it's part of me is just like, yeah, I don't know if they deliver on this completely. Now, especially even being removed, I think I'm going to feel the same way. So we'll see. And I think a lot of it has to do with, what's his name? The new Captain America, his like story arc and how he kind of ends up becoming a villain versus the actual villains of the show. And what they're trying to do with those characters. I feel like it doesn't bring it up to enough of a pitch where you're like, okay, like I am clearly rooting or not rooting for anyone. And I mean, like, yeah, you're doing that with Falcon because, he has his whole struggle that he goes through, but it's just not in opposition to anything enough where you're like, you feel really, tied in. And so I think that's what gives a feeling of, like I said, maybe a little bit of disappointment, but definitely a feeling of just like not fulfillment with the show. But we'll see. We're like halfway done. It's a really short, I think it's the shortest of all the Marvel shows.
I don't know. I only watched was it the WandaVision one?
Mm-hmm.
And meh.
Well, really? For WandaVision? You didn't like WandaVision?
It's all right.
I think it's really good.
I liked it while they were still doing the whole TV show thing and playing off of the tropes of TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're sort of like the first like 3 or 4 episodes.
Yeah.
When they were doing that, it was pretty fun. And I think that's something that could have worked a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
And probably been better had they drawn it out.
I don't know. I think I like the pacing of that. The way that, it was something that was there, but then it didn't just become, it didn't outstay its welcome. Because it was
the funnest thing that they had go. It was the funnest thing they had going for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll agree to that.
I don't know. It was okay. Like, my problem is that's all like for TV it's okay and stuff, but when I was already irritated they were doing TV shows to incorporate into the MCU because it's just one of those things. Oh, you gotta finish or you gotta watch this now.
Yeah,
and it dilutes everything. In order, like, I haven't even cared for the MCU recently because of how much it's already done that. Like the stuff in the new phase, I'm already losing some of the Easter eggs and stuff because I cannot keep up with all of your shows and shit. It diluted the market too much. They did it with the comic books, and it almost like crashed the comic book market.
I mean, here's the thing. I don't feel that way about the new movies. That like the TV. I feel like if anything, the TV shows haven't had enough of an impact on the movies. Honestly, because it kind of feels like, well, what's the point of anybody watching the TV shows at this point? Like even what impact WandaVision had on Doctor Strange, like that was the most, and then after that they kind of abandoned it because I don't know, maybe people felt that way where it was too much.
Well, it is, I think, like,
yeah, but since then they haven't
away from that. But
yeah,
from what I've gathered with the whole new Captain America movie, like if I haven't seen Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
I don't know. That's going to be a question.
Have not watched it. Like,
yeah, we'll see.
Seems too connected to, from my taste.
I don't know. I think what's going to be more is going to be the Thunderbolts movie, because there's just so much inside of Captain America and the Winter Soldier. And what was the other one? There was another show where that was kind of a thing. I don't remember. Anyways, that might feature into it more heavily, but we'll see. We'll see where it ends up. Either way, though, I think there's something about the shows that is enjoyable. They, as much as they, most of them feel like they're not really sticking the landing in the end. There are some genuinely good parts in the show. So in the shows, but we'll see. Because I think what else is coming out? Oh, the Agatha show. I'm hoping that one's just going to be some fun, because Agatha was a pretty fun character, I thought.
What's funny, Agatha's in that Midnight Suns game, and not at all the same character.
Yeah. No. She's
wholly different
than how she is in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure she's more faithful to her original showing off, which I don't even know that much about Agatha, but
all I know is from the Midnight Suns bit, and she's like pretty much the Xavier of the Midnight Sun.
Okay. Is she also bald?
And she's also like the one who took care of Scarlet Witch when she was a child.
Yeah.
And taught her witchcraft.
Yeah. I think that's in line with her original story.
But she's like not evil. Like, she's not bad.
Yeah, I mean,
she teaches children to be heroes. Like, she's not like bad. Not like great, because they're morally gray heroes. This was like the Midnight Suns, so all the like angsty teenagers.
Well, I think that's what's interesting about the TV Agatha, is that, like, yeah, she's the bad guy, but kind of only really to Scarlet Witch. What's her fucking name? Wanda. It's
Wanda. So that was Spawn.
But yeah, like, I think the way they give you a little bit of, you know, her past or whatever makes her a lot more sympathetic in that show, which is, I think, a good, honestly, they probably only included it to set it up for her show. But I think that was a good thing that they did, because it's like, okay, she's not exactly evil, she's just not exactly good. Which I think is like the strongest strength of you know, magic users in you know, comic book media. you know, they have a tendency to not really be evil or good, just kind of this in between, which makes them more interesting characters. I mean, some of them evil as heck, but
yeah, some of them are not really ambiguous.
yeah,
to the slightest.
But
Joker looking right at you, dude.
Yeah, that's it for me though. So other than that, can't really think of much else. Although I am playing Hexagon right now.
Again. Game over.
Hexagon.
You guys haven't played Hexagon? It's like a little music game where you're like,
I only know Hexa here.
I don't even know how to explain it. You're a little triangle on a hexagon, and there's walls that are coming in from the outside, and you have to avoid them while you're spinning around the hexagon.
Okay, I've played that, but
it's very visually assaulting.
I think it was called other things, but yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely other iterations of it. But yeah, it's all about sensory overload in order to, like, the screen will kind of like pulsate in and out and like spin really fast while you're trying to do this, so trying to avoid all the stuff coming at you, but it's fun. But yeah, well, shall we get on to some news?
Sure.
All right. What do we got here?
I got some news.
Go for it. Where are we starting?
This one I just thought was kind of a fun, article. I don't even know if I actually put it in the.
Oh my god.
I don't think it.
How dare you?
Basically the question is, does Sony have enough original franchises built from the ground up? Sony Chief Financial Officer Hiroki Totokai,
Mm-hmm.
or Totaki. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. So
Probably. It's okay. I wouldn't do any better.
thinks that the media giant doesn't have enough franchises that it's fostered from the beginning, calling it an issue from the for the company. Whether it's games, film, anime, we don't have that much IP that we fostered from the beginning.
So he's saying they need to come up with more new IP.
It's just, so we're lacking the early phases of IP in that edition. Also, I kind of like the past. Like, they didn't do it enough in the beginning to face like the competition.
Yeah.
There's got a whole bunch of like fans talking about like posting pictures and images of like Sly Cooper, Resistance, and like a whole bunch of other stuff. You know, people pointed at the infamous games.
My God, Infamous.
A whole bunch of like Long Dead, Jack and Daxter, Dark Cloud, Gravity Rush, and a whole bunch of other.
Dark Cloud. Wow.
I would play another Dark Cloud game for sure.
Like
a remake.
This is definitely a blast from the past.
He's always talking about that Dark Cloud stuff.
All the time.
All the time.
I'll go on about it. But yeah. So I think mostly this person, this article makes a point of it too, which is that like mostly talking about Sony as like bigger picture Sony, not just games.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Like they don't really have Mario that works everywhere. Like outside of Spider-Man, Sony's like biggest like transmedia success has been The Last of Us.
Yeah.
And that's fairly recent, just as a whole thing in itself, you know. So his whole statement of like fostering from the beginning.
Well, and
I think it's kind of like a look at the past and be like, yeah, we might have messed up on some of that.
Well, that's the thing too. Like Sackboy was great. Like that was super appealing across the board. They could have done so much with that IP, and they just let it flounder.
That's what they do with all of them. Like Resistance was supposed to be like the first person shooter, the game that like would lead the rest of their consoles. It was supposed to be their like fucking Halo.
Yeah.
And honestly, the first 3 games were pretty solid. First person shooter games. Like really fun campaign. But yeah, it just does kind of fall off.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't know how to foster IP, and that's definitely not just the games division.
Yeah, it's all over it. Like, it's not like they have like a movie,
right?
A whole bunch of movies again outside of Spider-Man, which it's just something they own. It's not really
something they bought. Yep.
So I think the statement is like true. I think it's more or less the statement is true that they don't have that, and it's a problem for them.
Indeed.
This is at the same time they did post like record profits, so how much of a problem is only a slave?
Yeah. So I got some Nintendo news here.
Nintendo fanboy news. I hear.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, you guys don't talk about it, so I gotta fill in the gaps here.
Why would I talk about Nintendo? You're gonna talk about Nintendo. That makes no sense.
So at Nintendo Live 2024 in Sydney, there was I guess a poster or something that kind of like showed off the history of The Legend of Zelda, and so it had the normal timeline that everybody's seen before, but off to the side they had Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, basically causing tons of headlines to say that those 2 games exist outside of the timeline, which could be true, but like I'm just so amazed that I'm seeing this everywhere. It's like, this means absolutely nothing. It's a freaking poster. They put the games on there because it's, you know, they wanted to have all the Zelda games on this poster, at least all the main ones, and they probably have no idea where it fits in the timeline. But regardless, maybe it is outside the timeline. Who the fuck cares? I don't know why this is such a big deal. But apparently people are going crazy about it.
Because you Zelda fans are disgusting.
It's just so weird that everybody was like, oh, there has to be a timeline. There has to be a timeline. And Nintendo was like, there's not a timeline. And then like a week later, that book came out. Everyone's like, you lied to us.
That's like,
oh man,
a lot. Some developers, like developer socials and stuff like that, just like to play with people like that. Was it just recently the Arrowhead, the game director, was like tweeting out, and someone reported that they had seen, like, they showed a clip of it and stuff like that. It was like the first like bit of the Illuminate was kind of like spotted, and Palisade was like, "Oh, that's fake news."
Fake news. Yep.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. What do you got next?
Let's see. No Man's Sky
Hmm.
does it again. They had yet another update come out.
Oh, it's already out?
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't realize it dropped. Holy shit. Fucking crazy. These guys are on fire.
Yeah.
All right, I got some new worlds to explore.
Oh, maybe it didn't drop yet.
Oh, okay. It's incoming though.
Now I'm confused. I thought I might have just.
Oh yeah, no. No. Your article you said at the very beginning says today's new update, however, adds fishing.
Oh yeah, no.
Is this like a pre?
It came out on the 4th.
Okay. Yeah, because this is supposed to like completely overhaul the water system, right?
It does a lot for the water, but mostly it's adding fishing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new exocraft called the Exo Skiff.
Nice.
That lets you go over the water and find fishing spots.
That's cool.
The picture of it's pretty cool. So yeah, No Man's Sky still becoming a better game because the stuff that I really like the developers like mentality of like, because they're somewhat using the same thing to build their new game. They're like implementing the stuff they're learning from doing that and adding it to their old game.
It's honestly a really great way to do some forward development. It's genius.
Yeah, it's really smart. Where a lot of companies like kind of hoard that and just hold it for like a sequel or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for them to be doing it this way, like, yeah, let's make our original game better, sell some more of those, and then that might fund a little bit of what we're planning to do with this engine that we're making.
That their new game that's coming out, Light No Fire, I think is the name of it. Which looks cool. Basically the same type of like scope where they wanted like the multiplayer, like massive multiplayer thing. Like the space one, except they're condensing all that down into like just one world that you can freely explore all around. And everyone's on that world.
Yeah.
So things will pop up and civilization will bloom and stuff.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I think that's cool way to use like the stuff that they've learned. And I also think it's different enough from what No Man's Sky is that it'll pick up like a little bit of a different audience.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure, the Venn diagram is going to be close. There's going to be a lot of people who play both.
Yeah.
But I still think that they'll pick up a few more people with the Light No Fire who would normally not play or not like No Man's Sky even.
Agreed.
Because of its scope.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, No Man's Sky. That's such a good game.
Right?
Check it out.
Next up here, did you guys watch the Minecraft trailer?
We did, yeah.
What did you guys think of it?
Oh yeah, we did watch that teaser, yeah.
I have some thoughts.
Yeah.
I didn't think a movie would come along so quickly that would make Borderlands look good. Actually, I would disagree with that. This still makes Borderlands look like the worst one to come out. Because I give it two things. It looks more childish. It definitely looks more like 4 kids.
Yeah, that's what I after my initial reaction of I was like, all right, so this is clearly for kids.
It's definitely
So there's a lot more that I'll forgive on that basis. First off, their outfits. People are kind of giving them shit for the outfits. I think they work. They're bright. They're brightly colored. They're again, this is kids focused stuff here. Like,
yeah,
they're unique enough that they can easily create like a skin in Minecraft based on that. And I don't mind the like live action with the animation bit. I think my biggest problem comes from Jack Black and the Steve character in general.
I think that's kind of funny.
No, look, I don't mind Jack Black being cast at all. But from what it looks like, from what I gather from the trailer, is that like these people from like Earth, right, get transported to Minecraft world.
Yeah, like Jumanji, right?
Yeah. I
So
think
it's
Steve.
kinda like
I think.
Jumanji, yeah.
I think Steve should have been animated like the rest of the Square world,
Yeah, they got like the llamas and stuff.
because it's like they're going to that world. Steve is from that world.
But is he?
Seems like it'd fit. I mean, I guess if they're adding new lore and whatever, then fine.
Yeah, I wonder if that's what it is. That's what made me think of like, okay, they're gonna do something with Steve here.
It doesn't look good. I'm not trying to like say it's gonna look.
Oh yeah, no.
It looks like it's gonna be okay. It doesn't look good, but with all like the forgiveness I can do for it being on for kids and what it seems to be doing for them, I didn't find the humor all that funny. But I imagine a child like 9 to 11-year-old me would probably get a kick out of it. So I think it will actually do pretty well with as family friendly and stuff as it is.
Yeah, and I think part of the other issue of it is that, again, it is definitely aimed for kids, but you have people who, even in the earliest days when this was being talked about, that was like over a decade ago. And so I think a lot of those kids have grown up, and it's just a disappointment.
Well, I don't know, from the little bit of the Minecraft community that I keep up with, which at this point is really just Hermitcraft. From their response, like big YouTubers who've been playing, literally grew up playing Minecraft.
Yeah.
Is like fairly positive.
Yeah,
like
but
skeptical, but
here's the thing.
But also like fairly positive.
I feel like Hermitcraft, they're actually level-headed people. I'm talking about the world at large.
Oh, I don't like to think of them. I don't like to think of those ones.
I don't know. I think, again, like you said, it's kid stuff. There's aspects of it that are definitely like that uncanny valley weirdness going on. When I started seeing people compared to Sonic, I was like, okay, I can see like where people are getting that weird creeped outness. But I think that's what they're going for. I feel like they're just trying to be completely silly with it, throwing everything they can, at it, because it's Minecraft,
Yeah, we're talking about a sandbox game here, and
yeah, exactly.
Like I said, for the most part, I get like the people have questions about the design choices of the characters, but I don't mind them. Everyone's giving Jason Momoa's like bodybuilder Barbie look shit, and I'm sitting over here like, man, I wish I could pull that off. That's so cool.
I thought it was a good look.
Yeah, no.
I like uniqueness and differentness. And that fits right there. I love it. If I could pull stuff off like that, I would.
Yeah. I don't know. Here's the thing. Like, I at this point, I have no interest in going to see Borderlands, like, at all. I don't think I'm ever going to see that movie. This one, I could be convinced to watch it. I'm probably not going to seek it out on my own, but if somebody was like, you know what, you should maybe give it a try, I'd be like, okay, I'll give it a shot.
I did download the Borderlands movie. So
did you?
So next week I'll come back with an actual opinion on it.
All right, I'll do it too. That way we can discuss.
But do we want to
Hear the disappointment in my voice already.
We can download it and then line it up and try and watch it together on like Discord.
We can do that. Yeah. Oh, we could do it with the Plex Watch Together thing. I've never tried that out. So.
Oh yeah. Do we have to sign up for that too?
No idea. I have no idea how it works.
Oh.
I'll look into it.
That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
We can just do a little watch party all together.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to join us.
Mm-hmm.
And we can like watch Borderlands and make fun of it. Probably, most likely, definitely.
That was my plan.
Definitely.
Because it sounds like it deserves it.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Deserves a hate watching.
Yeah. What do you got next?
Let's see. Man, a lot of this is. Oh, okay. Where'd it go? I'll talk about this because the other things are all like tied together. State of Decay 2 got its last update. Its final update. It's like 43 or something like that.
Wow.
Or nearly 40. Maybe it's like 39 or something. Anyways, yeah, their last update came out, and they announced it by putting out a little letter for everyone.
Yeah.
Saying, yeah, we had the honor and the privilege of supporting State of Decay 2 with nearly 40 updates and expansions. Undead Labs posted in their blog. The new modes, maps, difficulties, stories, characters, weapons, cosmetics, bounties, vehicles, events, traits, and more. We poured our heart into making the experience the best it can be, spurred on by your belief in us. Every update addressed your wish list requests, fixed bugs, and brought quality of life improvements. We love making the game you love to play. That's kind of a weird sentence. Yep, the final content update for State of Decay will be released a little later this year. Aims to fix some of the long-standing issues, add quality of life changes, and one of the big ones will permanently unlock seasonal and gated content, like Wizard Van or winter outfits.
That's cool.
This in the hopes to leave State of Decay 2 in a good enough place that players who revisit it won't have too much of a hassle or have to deal with any missed content.
That's pretty cool.
To be clear, they're not sunsetting the game. They're stopping content development and development support for the title. The game will remain available for all existing platforms, for all people who, for all owners, and including Game Pass. Yeah, pretty much they're now turning all their focus towards the end of their statement as well. We've enjoyed State of Decay 2 for many years. You may have heard that we're also hard on work on the next evolution of the franchise. Our ambition is to make the greatest zombie survival sim in the franchise, and to do so, we will be shifting our focus and resources to making the upcoming third installment, State of Decay 3.
Nice. That's pretty cool. I appreciate that.
So yeah, it's like those like small things that we've talked about before. We're like unlock some of that content. You're ending support,
right?
Let the full game be there.
Yeah. No, that's it's. I was just thinking, like, I mean, I don't know how you do it, but like, I think there needs to be a company that's out there, or some sort of organization, when it comes to these online service games that do this sort of thing, where they preserve it in a way where people can go back and play, and maybe it's not the exact same experience, but at least gives them the taste of that, which I think is
running like
It's
third
really
party
the cool part.
support and servers.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, let like you're at the point where you're dumping it now. You know,
If you had a company do it too, you'd have a little less risk of like if you wanted to not have like your code out there and stuff.
exactly.
You
Right.
could set it up with that third party.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, yeah, this is still a secret.
Yeah, but I appreciate that at least you know, some of these developers are doing that, taking these sort of steps to do this, to support their game a little bit more. But yeah.
What you got?
Helldivers 2. The developers have responded to these mostly negative Steam reviews, promising the patch that makes significant changes, which they've kind of talked about before, but it looks like they've put out something a little bit, Arrowhead's put out a little bit more details regarding what they're looking at doing, which is reworking armor penetration, anti-tank weapons, enemy armor, and health values. As a key part of the rework, we have done an initial balancing pass on over 30 weapons and stratagems, overhauling a number of different enemies. What else? Taking a look at weapons, and they're taking this opportunity to consider new player fantasies and design goals for these weapons and stratagems based on the feedback we've received and the trends we're observing during gameplay. So what it sounds like is they're looking at this saying, okay, you don't want complete balance, you just want to have fun. We're going to deliver on it. So
We've told them so many times. I appreciate them. I really think that's one of those few games out there that's being led by a company who actually gives a shit.
Right.
So I don't want to give them like too much shit, but at the same time, come on, man. They've been saying this for like a while now. The last like couple updates.
Exactly. I feel like it's taken them a little too long to get to this, and I don't know why, except for maybe whatever they did in the last patch is making them have to really reconsider some things, or is it just something on, you know, like some bureaucracy somewhere inside of the company? I'm not sure, but it seems like it's taken a while to address this particular.
Well, I just mean like
set
the
of
whole,
complaints,
like, balancing issues.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
They were having a little bit of problems before the like big update came out, and then when that big up came out, they had even more with balancing, and it seems like since then all the other updates have been pretty negatively received.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's what I mean. Like specifically when it comes to balancing, it's like nobody cares that much. It's not PvP. Like.
You do, yeah. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully that means it'll be coming soon. It's supposed to be hitting. Yeah, here it is. September 17th. So 10 days. 10 days. We'll see. You guys gonna check it out again? See how it changes?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played in a little while, but that's not from like me not liking it or at all.
Yeah.
Actually, Andrew was playing it last podcast we did, so
yeah.
It's not like it's a.
It's still great. I like the game. I don't know. I don't know where all these complaints come from. I think it's a very fun game. I mean, I guess I know where some, or like I understand where they come from, but I don't have complaints about the game. I think it's hop in, kill some bugs, pop out. I guess I'm not as invested as some people in the game, but
no, I mean
that probably leads to a lot of that toxicity. It's just being overinvested.
Right. Yeah.
Let's see. I've got two more really.
Okay.
And I think you've got some that tie with it as well.
Um,
First one I got is Concord.
mm-hmm.
That is a game.
What is that?
Was a game.
Wait, right? That was the game. It was going to be a game about 2 weeks ago, and now it was a game 2 weeks later.
Yeah. So yesterday was the official taken offline day.
Yeah.
On September 6th. Sony announced it. Back on the 3rd, a little bit of a week ago.
Yep.
They announced that their new game, Concord, would be taken offline.
Mm-hmm.
Director Ryan Ellis said that while many qualities of the experience resonate with players, we also recognize that there are other aspects of the game and our initial launch that didn't land the way we intended.
Mm-hmm.
Concord will therefore be taken offline so Sony and developer Firewalk Studios can explore options, including those that will better reach our players. It's been removed from sales. You can get your refunds pretty easily. You can get them directly from PlayStation if you ordered it that way. Steam and Epic have not had an issue refunding.
Mm-hmm.
What I was looking at this morning from the Steam side. I didn't really see the Epic side, but I'm sure they're about equivalent. They're pretty quick on that.
Yeah.
Physical refunds have been a little bit trickier, but most of the big outlets are aware of this issue and are allowing it.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the smaller ones, though, if you go to like a local place or whatever,
Yeah.
might have a bit more of an issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, the game was up for less than 2 weeks. It was up for 11 days.
I mean, here's the thing.
Taken offline.
Like we were talking about earlier, like, where was the advertising for this? Like,
There was one trailer at the game show for it. That's all I remember.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I remember not really being that interested, and like, but that's, you know, with me trying to pay attention to what's going on. Like, nobody's gonna care about it, especially if it's not like so close to release date. You didn't like have a ad campaign or very minimal. I just felt like there was nothing out there when it came to this game. And that being said, it's even like people have said that it's a decently good game. It's just there's nobody playing it.
Yeah.
I mean, it got like 700 concurrent players on Steam.
Yeah, at like its highest.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
That's really bad.
Especially when Valve's hero shooter MOBA game that isn't even out yet, that wasn't supposed to be as widespread as it is at like 150,000 players a day. And that game wasn't even, that game's not out yet, and it wasn't supposed to be this widely spread. So yeah, clearly something went wrong.
I don't know. It's funny though, because a lot of the comments that I've seen on this is really that it's because the game is too woke, and that's why nobody liked it. And I was like looking at everything, and like the most woke that they have on there is pronouns stuff for every character, right?
It's whatever. Yeah.
I feel like actually having like looked into it and looked at the game and whatnot, I'm like, I'm pretty sure Overwatch is way more woke than this game.
It doesn't even matter. That
it's just one of those things that, oh yeah, no.
That word just lost all meaning.
Right.
It really has.
Just say I don't
It's
know.
because it has like
woke.
people of color in it, and yeah, it had pronouns on the side. That's it. That's all they need.
Yeah, it's just funny just seeing how they that's what they blame everything on if something fails.
I found it really funny. This was just more articles on it. Scalpers were trying to upsell a Concorde after Sony announced the pull.
I didn't see
and
this.
They were listing it for like double, triple prices, even getting like some ridiculous like hundreds of dollars.
Wow.
And in some case thousands.
What?
For physical copy stuff. I think that was more like collector stuff.
Well, to be fair, they might actually get a good return on investment in this one day. It's going to be a weird collector's item at some point, for sure.
It's just weird to spend that much. Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Some people just have too much money. Anyways,
it's true.
They just like, they were making deals to like send them out as fast as they can, like same day shipping and stuff like that, so that they could get in on the last little bit.
Yeah.
So it had some fun overselling happening.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you had a whole bunch of players over the last weekend who were just, everyone was jumping like off the map instead of actually fighting or doing anything. They were ending the matches as quickly as they could to get the experience, so everyone could try and reach level cap before the game ended.
I can appreciate that.
And this comes like shortly after too the reveal of that Amazon show, where the secret levels show, doing, like the video game thing. Well, Concorde is featured as one of the like big episodes.
Really?
It's highly featured in the trailer. So like,
your advertising came a little too late.
Yeah, so that. But it was confirmed that that episode is staying good.
That's good. That's good.
So if you were one of the less than 1,000 people who played that game, really liked it. There's still some more coming for you, a little bit.
Yeah. Oh man! Wow.
But man,
the whole situation around this game is so weird.
I think besides some like cell phone games, like live service cell phone games, I think this is like the shortest lived live service game.
Yeah. I mean,
especially
I think
with one with a big release like this.
Oh yeah. No, definitely the latter. But I mean, even cell phone games, I'm trying to think of any that had such a short, like 2 weeks. 2 weeks. That's crazy. Oh well, what can you do?
I don't know. There's crazy stuff though.
Yeah.
But it's gotta laugh sometimes.
It's disappointing too, though, because it's like, it seemed like these developers worked hard on this stuff and whatnot, and to pull it completely, I think that's the kind of the craziest thing out of the whole thing. But yeah. So I got two more things here. They're technically three. There's been some layoff stuff happening. So there's Rocksteady. They're apparently gonna lay off some more people. After the quote disastrous release of Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. Let me see here. Yeah, so there's 18 staff members who have been affected, apparently. And then along with that, there's more layoffs that have been reported. They're not confirmed yet, but they're reported from Alka Studios and Tencent. They both have reported that, or not reported, but there's been like leaks that there's some staff layoffs that are coming. What makes this Oka Studios kind of a big thing is that they just released Visions of Mana, which apparently is a pretty decent game. Hasn't been getting the best reviews, but yeah, I remember seeing this and thinking, oh shoot, it's been a while since I played a Mana game. I might have to check this out. But yeah, unfortunately, it looks like despite however the game sales end up going for this game, that many of the developers will not be around to see the success of it. So
yeah,
yeah,
that is unfortunate. So many layoffs.
I know, it's just crazy. It just doesn't seem to be ending. It feels like it's every other day. Maybe not that bad. It's like every week that I mean, yeah, pretty much every week we report on another studio announcing layoffs. So
yeah.
And so I don't know. Like, do you think that there's like part of it is that there's just so many game developers out there? Because I mean, I remember like when we were getting out of high school and whatnot, that there was such an emphasis on like.
I mean, it's already a pretty like deep pool of things, but it's just made so much worse when these companies, instead of firing like the issue, which is typically like management and how the like games management went. Like so many times we see like things being led, like was it like a couple weeks ago we were talking about the CEO who was bragging about having like 6 cars.
Yeah, right. I'm not saying.
Well, they have like terribly managed and have employees like talk about how badly they're managing a place, only to have like half of the staff get fired instead of the guy who's actually making more than like all of the staff.
Right.
Get rid of the problem.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I think that right there, that is like a root cause for sure. But I feel like with what's happening with the last year,
it doesn't help when there's so many places that have been let off that right now hiring for.
Yeah, I feel like there's so much competition with the people who are looking for these development jobs, because there's so many of them out there that they don't have enough sway, I guess, because these game studios can just look at somebody else,
Power of unionization.
Yeah, that's why. Leading into my next thing, thank you for my segue.
Actually, it works for both of us, because I think all the rest of the news we have is union type stuff.
Yeah. Did you have the voice actor stuff? What was yours? You go into yours.
Oh, yeah. I guess mine came from like the same article. But yeah, the voice actors strike, which we brought up before.
Yeah.
We had talked about it at length, so check out our old episodes for more. But there's been some like progress made towards that. As there's been a number of developers who have agreed and signed their like was it tiered payment and AI protections.
Yeah. And this is going to apply to 80 games, I think. Currently
currently there's about 80 games coming from different studios. A lot of like studios that were mentioned on one of the lists that I saw were ones that didn't stand in the way at all from like the beginning.
Yeah.
They just signed on like right away for their like whatever they wanted.
Which is good.
those are good developers. You definitely want to try and work there.
Yeah.
I promise you that.
Yeah, no, this is
but there's some other ones. The studio Wildcard behind Ark Survival Evolved agreed to their tiered budget and interim agreements. Little Bat Games. Yeah, there's a whole bunch. I can't find the list that I saw earlier, and this IGN article does not have it.
Yeah, I was just looking at that too. I don't remember. I gotta pull up her name now, but because there was one of the voice actors who, you know, she had kind of spoken out previously about her concerns when it comes to AI, and specifically this was Jennifer Hale, that's right. Specifically, she was saying that nobody seems to really be asking the important question of, you know, where's this money going, which she was kind of pointing at, like, this is the real danger of it. Like, yes, this is a technology that can be really helpful, but it could also be used for evil. And if we're not getting the money to go to the people who deserve it, that's the real issue, which I think was a great point from her. That, yeah, all these people who are putting in their voice work for it to be used by AI, like, they need to have these royalties and whatnot. They need to be able to make good money off of it, because I can guarantee you, even if they make decent money off of the AI, the companies are still going to make way more. So yeah, I think she was talking a little bit more after this was announced as well. I saw her name in some of the articles concerning the voice actor.
The article
stuff
was put up after Lightspeed LA Games. Is that the name? Lightspeed LA.
Yeah.
The developer Lightspeed LA did sign the union's agreement with General Manager Steve Martin. Added that the studio has always recognized the value and valued the irreplaceable role of talent, which injects creativity, innovation, and the human touch to video games. Supporting our cast is the right thing to do. There was never any hesitation to consider the performer's protection that anchors this agreement. And that's with, like, AI protection.
Yeah.
Common sense AI protections. So
it's a step in the right direction. I'm liking that we can end our podcast on a more positive note for once.
Rare.
Oh, I'm not done. Hold on.
Oh no.
Greedfall 2 developers have called for a strike over working conditions, lack of gender equality, and partiality, or global mismanagement. The Union of Video Game Workers in France.
France, eh?
Yeah, pretty much. There's no, like, specifics given about where they started, but yeah, they went on strike with 44 of the 95 workers having signed.
Okay.
To do so. There hasn't been any updates, but pretty much their demands.
I mean, I know
transparency and worker representation.
I know when it comes to European countries that, like, it's really, like, really different across the different countries on, like, employer or employee rights. Like, some countries are really good with it. some aren't. I don't know where France falls in that.
This one doesn't even seem to be having a thing to do with like pay at all, except for in one area.
Really?
Which is just to rectify the situation of wage discrimination against women and non-binary people.
Oh, okay.
So basically level out pay. No one's asking for like more money. It's just what people making the same money.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty big deal in France, actually. Wage discrimination. I don't know, where it falls on with trans and whatnot, but or women or anything like that. But I know at one point it definitely used to be a big deal. So hopefully that means they get it.
Yep. No news on that one. It's a little harder to talk about too because I don't know France's like.
Yeah. Right.
All of their rules. So.
Mm-hmm.
But workers who formed the first Activision Blizzard union in 2022, studio Raven Software, who helped with Call of Duty, they filed a complaint against the developer, Activision, and new parent company Microsoft. This is mostly behind a lot of Call of Duty stuff. But a lot of it too is the it seems the transition hasn't gone over very smoothly. With the Activision Microsoft merger.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah, let's see who said this. Tell me who said it. Communications Workers of America President Claude Cumming Jr. After Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard, our members were optimistic that they would progress quickly to a first contract at Raven Software. Unfortunately, this has not happened. We encourage Microsoft to address the concerns raised in the unfair labor practice charge and make reaching a fair agreement a priority. Yeah, this one is more on wages.
Yeah. Yep. Well, hopefully they get their shit together. I mean, it's Microsoft, so.
So no. Yeah.
So probably not, yeah. Unfortunately.
This is shortly after. Keep in mind that the Starfield developer Bethesda Game Studios became the first Microsoft studio to be fully unionized back in July.
Yeah. At least there's that. So still,
yeah,
still,
it's good there's a reason that we all wanted them to unionize. Strikes kind of suck in a lot of ways. It's really hard for everybody, but
yeah, but it feels like, especially of late, that's the only recourse that many of these, employees have, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, use your right. Your right to strike. But that's it. That's all I got. That's it for me.
All right. Well, yeah, no, I don't have anything else. I totally forgot about those older articles too that you had out there. Clearly. Of course it couldn't end on a good note.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Get hell. Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Everybody have a great week.
All right.
Tune in next week for us to raise your hopes and dash them most expertly.
That's what we're here for.
If you want to feel better, go play Baldur's Gate 3.
Well, that's not true.
Or
It's working.
or I can give you the good quote from, apparently Roblox had like a big old developer conference thing, and their CEO said that their goal announced that they announced their goal, which is to have 1 billion daily active users and 10% of all global gaming revenue.
That's their goal?
Yeah.
That's ambitious.
Right.
10%? Good luck? I mean, I guess...
That's about all you can say, right?
Right? Like, I mean, hey, if you're gonna have a goal, why not shoot for the stars, right?
I just feel bad for all of them. If they don't make that goal,
A more attainable goal.
when we don't make
Yeah.
that goal, and the employees get punished for not making that goal. Even though this is a ridiculous goal.
What's the worst that can happen? Seriously, come on. When has a company ever treated their employees badly?
We just talked about like 3 occasions of that.
What? No.
Oh, see,
Fake news.
how can it be bad news? You already forgot.
Probably actively happening.
Yeah.
At least 10 different studios.
Right.
Someone somewhere out there is being mistreated by their employer.
Anyways, yeah, I gotta get to going. I'm playing D&D.
Yes, we do have a
Mm.
Pathfinder game at 11.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for joining. Thanks for tuning in. We do the podcast pretty much every Saturday, 9 a.m. Mountain Time. And yeah, we do other stuff occasionally throughout the week and whatnot. So, yeah,
So
keep your eyes peeled, and we'll do some gaming and whatnot here soon.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bunch of nerds. Bye.
Game over. Begin.